Ma'am, that's incorrect.
Excuse me. Let me get something straight with you first here. I've seen you interrupt everyone. When you come to someone's house, you respect their rules. And in this house, we don't interrupt individuals. And you're not going to interrupt my time. I'm going to give you time to respond. You may want to jot down some notes about things that you don't agree with me on so that you can respond to them at that time. But while I'm speaking, as the person holding this time, you will refrain from speaking, sir, until I am done, and then I will give you time to speak, okay?
Look forward to the facts.
Thank you. I'll look forward to your response, whether they're factual or incorrect either. Now, one of the things that I noticed that the president, our present president, has said that he was going to do was going to bring down the cost of living. But as we all know, costs have not gone down.
In a tense congressional hearing that quickly captured national attention, Representative Stacey Plaskett confronted Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent over the rising cost of living facing American families. The discussion centered on inflation, wages, gas prices, and the economic direction of the country. What began as a routine policy discussion soon turned into a heated exchange about economic numbers and political accountability. Plaskett presented statistics about unemployment, wage growth, and inflation trends under the previous administration. But the moment took a dramatic turn when Bessent attempted to challenge her claims during her speaking time. That interruption triggered a firm response from the Congresswoman that immediately shifted the tone of the room. Lawmakers and viewers alike watched as the confrontation unfolded in real time. The exchange raised an important question: who is truly responsible for the economic pressures Americans are feeling today?
For being here today, Ms. Plaskett.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to the witness for being here this afternoon with us, and making yourself available and answering questions and engaging with the members of this committee. I first wanted to share that, I think back on the last administration, this administration, the transition. There's always going to be changes, ideas and changes, mechanisms in which we're done. But I think we need to talk truth about what the numbers were in each one of those. Now, we know that at the time of President Trump's inauguration, unemployment was at less than 4%. Inflation was below 3%. And the numbers that have been put out about where inflation is now has not really changed month to month when we look at CPI, the Bureau of Labor statistics. Those numbers have not changed significantly from the downward trajectory that happened from 2020. We have continually gone down in inflation. Economic growth at the time of inauguration was at 2.8% in real terms. And that was, according to World Analysis, one of the fastest growing economies in the world. The bottom 20% of workers saw the largest real wage gains during the Biden administration. We're going to give Jackett's jacket here in this committee. Additionally, we have seen since January 20th that the stock market overall has gone down 1.3%, and gas has gone up.
Ma'am, that's incorrect.
Excuse me. Let me get something straight with you first here. I've seen you interrupt everyone. When you come to someone's house, you respect their rules. And in this house, we don't interrupt individuals. And you're not going to interrupt my time. I'm going to give you time to respond. You may want to jot down some notes about things that you don't agree with me on so that you can respond to them at that time. But while I'm speaking, as the person holding this time, you will refrain from speaking, sir, until I am done, and then I will give you time to speak, okay?
Look forward to the facts.
Thank you. I'll look forward to your response, whether they're factual or incorrect either. Now, one of the things that I noticed that the president, our present president, has said that he was going to do was going to bring down the cost of living. But as we all know, costs have not gone down. Whether they have remained stagnant at the amount that they were at the time of the inauguration or before, or they have gone up, real costs have not gone down for the American individuals. I know that my colleagues want to talk about in this bill what is happening in terms of their support for the American worker. There's a discussion I hear from several colleagues that if this legislation is not passed, it will then trigger the largest tax hike. That's because you made the largest tax cut in 2017 with this bill. And it's not to say that we cannot negotiate, as Congress has used to do, something in between there. It does not have to be this bill. It could, in fact, be something in between there. But that's not what we're doing here in this Congress at this time. Additionally, we have seen that, there's discussion about overtime taxes, overtime, the credit that's going. We know that only 12% of hourly workers receive overtime. And then the discussion about tips, which is only going to affect 2.5% of American workers, and only 40% of tip earners actually file federal taxes. So we are not going to affect everyone that we need to affect. Unfortunately, everyday Americans, the outcome of the supposedly strategic legislation that we have here is very predictable. We're watching the cost of bread, bacon, butter rise, egg prices continuing to go up, and the rising cost is not going to happen. One individual who I follow, James Serwicki, a classmate of mine actually from prep school who was at Yale, discusses that there's no acceleration of economic growth in this legislation because there's not being meaningful cutting of tax rates. We are going to be reducing spending, that's correct, but there are intended consequences to that as well. Additionally, let's talk about DOGE. 2 trillion, 1 trillion, 150 billion. Those were what we said the savings were going to be. I'm concerned that with this legislation as well, we are not going to see the real numbers. The numbers that are put out are not going to be, in fact, the real ones. Mr. Chair, I yield back.
Mr. Moran.
In the end, Stacey Plaskett's exchange stood out because she refused to let the conversation drift away from the real struggles facing American families. She insisted that statistics and economic theories must always be measured against the everyday reality people experience at the grocery store, at the gas pump, and in their monthly bills. By holding her ground and enforcing the rules of the hearing, she made it clear that accountability and respectful dialogue still matter in Congress. Her remarks reminded the room that economic debates are not just about numbers, they are about the lives of millions of workers trying to keep up with rising costs. Plaskett emphasized that lawmakers have a responsibility to address these pressures honestly and transparently. She also highlighted the importance of questioning policies that promise relief but fail to deliver real results for ordinary citizens. In doing so, she brought the focus back to the central issue, whether government actions are truly helping the people they are meant to serve. Her firm response during the hearing demonstrated leadership and a willingness to challenge narratives that do not match the lived experience of many Americans. Moments like this show why strong oversight and open debate are essential parts of democracy. For many viewers, Stacey Plaskett's confrontation was not just a political moment. It was a reminder that someone in the room was speaking directly for families who want their voices heard.